Hey everybody, Devin here with the Motion Suite. Today we are going to do a core exercise routine from the floor, and this is about an intermediate level. So if you've tried the beginner one and you're comfortable with it, or if you think you're pretty solid in the core, you can go ahead and try this one out. We're going to run through the exercises with intervals of 40 seconds of work with a 20-second rest, and we'll see how you do with it. All right, so we are going to be on the floor for all of these. The first one, we will be on our hands and knees. When you're on your hands and knees, always make sure your wrists are under your shoulders and not too far out, and that your knees are under your hips. You're going to stay butt tucked, core tight. We're not going to sag. And the first one we're going to do is called bird dog. So I'll show you first. You're going to keep your core nice and tight, feet and knees spread a little bit. You're going to straighten one arm at the same time as you straighten the opposite side leg. Make sure you stay nice and straight. Think about balancing a glass of water on your back. You don't want to twist or drop that hip. So we'll go from there, and then you switch, alternating. Each rep, you switch to the opposite side. So we'll do 40 seconds here, and then we'll get a rest. All right, we ready? Get in position. All right. Straight out. And just take, a 2-3 second pause before bringing it back in. Nice and tight in the core. Think about pushing into a wall behind you with your heel, really stretching out that arm. Keep your chest pushed away from the floor. Don't sag on your shoulders. One more each side. All right, take a rest. All right, next we're going to be on our back. This is a progression from the pelvic tilt that you might be familiar with. So you are going to get into the pelvic tilt where you're flattening your low back into the mat by making your tummy shorter. Both legs are going to be up and bent. You're going to lower one to tap your heel and then alternate. But when you lower that leg, do not let your back arch off the mat. You want to maintain that pelvic tilt. You want to feel the floor under the curve of your low back the whole time. All right. Go. Remember not to hold your breath. Keep your back flat into the floor. If you feel like you can't maintain your back on the floor, tuck your knees up closer to your chest and tap from the toes. That'll make it easier. One more each leg. All right, rest. Good job. All right, now we're going to side planks from your feet and your elbow. Make sure the elbow is aligned under the shoulder and that there's a straight line from your feet to your hip, to your shoulder, to your head. You don't want to be piked like this. All right, 40 seconds. We're going to lift straight up and go. Feet and elbow. You could always do hand and feet instead of your elbow. A little harder that way. You can bring your hand up here if you want to try that. Keep your hips lifted. Try not to sag. If this feels okay, you can also try to add a twist. Add a little rotational component. 10 more seconds. Keep that down shoulder strong, pushing away from the mat or the floor. And rest. All right. Switch sides, same thing on the other side. Got to even it out. Elbow under shoulder, straight line from feet to hips to shoulder to ear. One straight line, 40 seconds. Let's go. You might find one side plank is easier than the other. Option to bring the hand up. Option to twist. Keep that bottom shoulder strong. Don't sink to the floor. 5 more seconds. All right, lower and rest. All right. Now we're going to go face down into a prone plank. You can do either hands and toes or elbows and toes. Just keep your butt low and your shoulders strong. All right. Ready? And lift. Push that chest away from the floor. No sagging. Keep your butt low, but not so much that your back is sway backed. If this feels easy or you want to do something a little different, you can alternate leg lifts without swaying or twisting. 3, 2, 1. All right. Good. Rest. That's a hard one. Try not to hold your breath while you're doing those. All right. All right, back on our backs. We are going to do a hollow rock hold or some variation of it. So you're going to be on your back. Your upper back is going to be slightly lifted off the floor with your arms up. So you're not all the way down here, you're up here. Your legs are going to be straight, like you're holding a rock. You're just going to hold that position for 40 seconds. If that feels hard, bend your knees up. That'll get a little easier. You want to make sure your low back is flattened into the mat in that pelvic tilt. All right, arms up, legs up. Keep your low back flattened into the floor. Try to keep your upper back and shoulders off the floor. Knees straight. If that doesn't feel good, bend the knees. If that feels easy, lower your legs lower. Both together. And just make sure you don't have any coning or doming of your abdominal wall. If you do, bend up the knees until you don't have that. Hold it, hold it, hold it. An isometric hold. 3, 2, 1. All right. Good job. We are going to flip back over. We're going to go into mountain climbers. So that's holding a plank essentially, but with a knee drive. Knee to elbow, knee to same side elbow. You can go as fast or as slow. Some people like to chop, chop, chop fast, or if you want to just do a slower tempo, you can do that as well. 40 seconds here. Knee drive mountain climbers. All right, let's go. Knee to elbow. Keep your butt low. Really think about using your abdominal muscles to drive that knee up. It's not just the hips, it's the core muscles that are really adding power to that knee drive. Keep the chest pushed away from the floor. All right, 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, good. All right, we're going to stay face down for the next one. And it's going to be a bear hover. So it's kind of like quadruped, being on your hands and knees, but your knees will be up off of the floor, hovering. So you'll start here, but you're going to lift your knees up. So you're really just hands and toes, and we'll hold that. I'll show you a variation if that feels easy, a way to kind of progress it. So we'll hold that for 40 seconds. a bear hover. All right, ready? Lift your knees up, keep your butt tucked, core tight. You're just hovering the knees just above the floor. Strong through the chest. If this feels easy, extend your hip, alternating. Keeping the knees low. Don't end up coming up here. Stay low. Alternating. When you extend that knee, don't let your hip drop. Keep your back completely level. 3, 2, and 1. Rest. All right, we got one more left. It's on your back. It's another progression from a traditional pelvic tilt. So you're gonna hold a little weighted ball, a small dumbbell, bottle of water, whatever you have. With both hands, you are gonna go into the pelvic tilt here. Make your tummy shorter, flatten your back into the floor. You're gonna take that weight or whatever you have, try to drop it behind your head. The goal is to make contact with the floor above your head, but if in doing that your back comes off the mat and you're arching and you can't maintain that pelvic tilt, you want to stop the weight before you lose that pelvic tilt and just bring it back to start. All right, so we're just holding the pelvic tilt the whole time, but moving the weight back and forth for 40 seconds, keeping the tilt. All right, here we go. As far overhead as you can, you keep the elbows straight. But if you start to lose that pelvic tilt, don't move the weight any farther overhead. You should really feel the core muscles working hard when this weight gets back here over your head. One more rep. And rest. All right, you're done. That was your intermediate core workout from the floor. I hope you liked it. I hope you have some good stuff to work with, ways to scale it, make it harder, or step it back a notch to make it easier if you need to. And I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see y'all next time. Good work.